Hi, welcome to the channel. So today I'm continuing my reaction to On the Front Line, all about the Royal Marine Commandos. This is episode 5, Enemy Contact. Let's get to it.
The Royal Marine recruits of 924 Troop are enduring the most grueling military training in the world, and it's becoming ever more realistic.
Charlie team, go on!
In 3 months' time, they'll be deployed to a real war on the front line in Afghanistan. But Terry John's world fell apart when he failed a crucial speed march and had to leave 924 Troop and his friends. Now, under medical scrutiny, Terry must face up to a shocking truth. And Second Lieutenant Bertie Carr is already on his way to Afghanistan, just 3 days after finishing his own training.
When the rounds start coming in, then you've got to take that little condor moment and make the right decision. I'm ready for it. That doesn't mean it's not nerve-wracking. I'm ready.
If you want to help the channel out, I would really appreciate it if you actually watch this video to the very end. And if you got any value, I would really appreciate a like, share, or comment. Thank you. Chinook.
The only way into Kajaki is by helicopter. This remote and beleaguered British outpost in southern Afghanistan is surrounded on all sides by the Taliban. And it's to here that Second Lieutenant Bertie Carr has been posted.
Right, we're getting stood to because there's a bit of gunfire and it sounds like a couple of mortar rounds going off. Don't really know what's happening, but this is sort of, the daily thing here.
Virtually all civilians have fled the area. Only the Taliban remain, hiding in and firing from a honeycomb of deserted compounds.
The first thing I ever did with my troop, we went out on a day patrol and got shot at 4 times. They were real bullets, sort of going, you hear the whiz as it passes just over your head and it's aimed at you. And it was quite a buzz, to be honest. It sounds a bit sick, but you get quite a rush from it. If you go out, I would say, 9 times out of 10, something would kick off.
Even though I was not actually in combat, I did have a few scary incidents in Iraq. Once, when I was on guard duty, I remember hearing a shoo. My fellow guard and I dropped to the ground thinking that we were dead and that rocket was going to land on us. But as you know in physics, light travels faster than sound. So by the time we heard it, it had already passed us by. But that was a very scary moment, and it did give me a burst of adrenaline and a buzz, as he called it. I mean, that is something I will never forget.
Which is great because we're out on patrol tomorrow, so.
Has anyone got any loose ammo?
No, mate. Box.
Should be one more bloke.
Back in Devon, 924 recruit troop are halfway through training, but 32 of the original 50 have dropped out through injury or failing to make the grade.
So what you've got now is the basics. When you get to your units, those that are successful and pass out of training, you'll get retaught exactly how they want to do it, and that's part of unit life. When you get
The ones that eventually get through will be sent to fight in the same unit as Bertie Carr on the front line in Afghanistan.
You'll jump out the back of the wagon and you'll know if it's left or right flanking, Delta team holding fast, putting down covering fire, Charlie team into the assault if need be.
I'm assuming that vehicle is only for training purposes, because while deployed, those guys would never expose themselves in an open vehicle like that.
Back on the wagon.
Just drop your leg into my hands, okay? You also getting pain sensation?
Terry John has been forced to leave 924 Troop because of a mysterious problem with his legs when it comes to speed marching.
Is it starting to tighten up?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're still smiling though, which is a good thing. A bit of cheerfulness and adversity.
So he's been put into Hunter Company, where they try to mend broken recruits.
When I go speed marching and I get to that point, these muscles don't give me no movement. It's just here, lifting down there, and just plodding it on the ground, just bam, bam, that's all I do. Then after a while, up here gets tired as well. Like, my whole leg is just not moving. That's just it.
Terry's even been referred to a civilian specialist to try and establish what the problem is. But he still misses his old troop, especially as his friends have just started tactical training for the front line.
I should be there. For all that action in the field, that's what you get trained for all the time, ain't it? To be a soldier, ain't it? Not being there with them lads, it'd be well fun to look at some of their faces during that attack, honestly.
So yeah, the grenades going off and the machine guns going.
As if you're like in Afghanistan or somewhere already. Yeah. That's the feeling I long for, like, action.
It's a tough challenge for any recruit to complete training with his original troop. Failing essential tests or suffering an injury, and they are sent to a junior troop for retraining.
What fire position are you in, fucking Mongwell? Get down, leave the position. Free on, Williams.
Only the toughest and the luckiest remain as troop originals, like James Williams, who so far passed every test he's taken.
When you used to talk about being an original, it was like, yeah, I'd like to be an original just to say, you know, I'm an original, it was a cool thing to do. Now, I'd like to be an original because I'd like to get this over and done with as quickly as possible. Because fucking...
Yeah, you're right.
When we've done this, and knowing that Terry, if he carries on and gets through it, has got things like this to come, whereas we could be through it and done. Get it done, get it over and done with.
Lads, keep the rounds going down. Your oppos are assaulting that position.
As hard as it is, you should always try to pass the first time, because if not, then you're going to make the whole miserable experience even longer. That soldier is very wise. But one thing I'm curious about is, out of all the recycled soldiers, what % actually go on to graduate with a new class?
K2 section, we need to push up to the fence, secure up to that fence line and arch to our front. Starting, hurry up!
Hello, 30 Alpha, this is Normandy, radio check, over.
The following day, on a high peak called Normandy that overlooks the British HQ in Kajaki, gunners and snipers stand ready to provide cover for Bertie Carr, who's about to lead his men, known as 11 Troop, deep into enemy territory.
The FSG is up there, they've got optics, they've got a sniper up there with him. I'm checking out the objectives before we get there. The lads have put it at 60-40 odds on contact, so let's see what happens.
Okay, whenever they're ready, we'll set up.
Let's go.
Hello, 30 Alpha, this is still over.
Hello, still 0, this is still 20 Alpha. This call sign crossing the bridge now, over.
Roger.
Once 11 Troop cross this bridge, they'll be in enemy territory.
Can I have an indication of where those shots came from?
Already the firing has started. Right now it's indirect and distant, but there's no telling when it might become direct and deadly. Bert is leading a reconnaissance patrol through deserted villages and compounds to gather intelligence on enemy positions.
The Taliban, they just lie in position all day, all night, and just wait till we pop out and they can engage us.
No, that's all right. Once we're behind Roshan Hill, we're in cover from that area. Lads, keep spaced out in the open ground. Space it out.
Happens Normandy for your information.
You always want to space out any kind of patrol. That way, if you guys take an incoming round, it only takes out maybe one of you versus 3 or 4.
3,000 miles away, 924 Troop have just crossed the Channel to start their battlefield tour of the D-Day beaches in Normandy and to get their first taste of Corps history.
I've been there.
The early hours of the 6th of June, as we know, this great armada of ships left UK. At 5:30 in the morning, the gunships opened up and bombarded this coastline with a mass array of weaponry. Not accurate, but enough to shake the enemy and hopefully hit the positions. And they would have to fight their way across the 400 metres of open beach. But they paid a heavy price. And we see these people that pay the price in the cemetery this afternoon. So sheer motivation, determination, bravery, the will to succeed. And that's what we look for in the Corps.
Get contact from the right now, over. Get into cover.
In Kajaki, 11 Troop have come under direct fire.
Contact, rounds winging over our heads.
The Royal Marine gunnery positions on the high ground, who can see the enemy from their vantage point, immediately try to suppress them with heavy machine guns and sniper fire. Bertie, just 3 weeks out of training, must now decide whether to withdraw or push on.
Eyes on. Yeah, they're engaging them. I'm happy to crack on because that's... Right, lads, Normandy are going to be engaging over our heads, so we're going to crack on to Caligol. Let's get going now. Out. Some of those cool signs spread out that trench, two bunched up there.
To reach the compounds they want to search, 11 Troop now has to cross 500 yards of open ground.
Right, just keep an eye on them.
When we move out from here, lads, same order of march, and we're going to move across. Okay, if you look to your front, you see the compound that we're heading for? Yep. We're heading straight for that in single file. The threat as we move across there is obviously to the left, so be aware of that. And as always, just keep looking for your next bit of cover.
With covering fire from the high ground, Bertie leads his troop forward. They haven't even reached their objective yet, but already it's hotting up.
Right, stay spread out, so spread back. Free Barney, you secure rear. Yeah, actually, yeah, you secure it. I'm just hoping that unknown left have got eyes on our position as well.
Royal Marines officer Bertie Carr and his troop have arrived at the enemy compounds that need to be searched. Now it's a matter of getting in.
Jacko, can you kick those doors in? Or they come off the hinges, over. It's a known firing position, kick it in!
5 rounds on that target and then we went to...
Let's back off.
Almost immediately, the Marines find evidence of enemy activity.
Shell in there. It looks quite intense. So
There's a shovel beside it, I wouldn't touch it at all.
got a possible firing position, which was definitely hidden. It's got arcs onto our location and our patrol routes, over.
I would be concerned about booby traps.
As you can see, we're now stood in the Allied war grave at Bayeux. More importantly for us, there are 152 Royal Marines buried in this place. Okay, now people will make a lot of the Royal Marines being elite. Being elite isn't just about the training you receive, it's all about tradition as well. One of the biggest traditions we have is the tradition of family. You are part of something special, right? And we pride ourselves in looking after our own and our family. Now these guys that lay here today, they are dead, but they are most definitely not forgotten. And they will never be forgotten. I would like you to place your cross on the headstone of a Royal Marine.
Hey, look, age 19, age 19. They didn't show us this on the recruiting video, did they? 21, jeez.
Same name, same age.
Yeah, but we don't end up like this. Years do not darken, nor shadow dimly beautiful memories we have of him. Just makes you proud. So whatever happens, you know, you'll never be forgotten.
I don't remember specifically seeing that cemetery, but I did see the American cemetery, which looks very different. But if you ever get a chance to go to Normandy or any of these beaches or cemeteries or monuments, then please go ahead and do so. It is an experience that you will never forget.
That's important.
I put one on a sergeant who was my age, 24, sergeant, and he was the 6th of June, but he died. I mean, I don't know how he died, but, you know, the 6th of June was the landings, wasn't it? And to, you know, just come straight off and that's it. I think that's pretty bad, you know.
The casualties in Afghanistan, not just us, them as well. I mean, they're fighting the war too, aren't they? I mean, you've got to give anyone respect if they fight for their own country. I do anyway. I mean, some people might not, but I do.
Can you get guys in that corner now?
In Kajaki, Bertie Carr and his troop continue to investigate and map suspect enemy positions, knowing they could be targeted at any time.
Clear. Boss, isn't it? Yeah. A couple of spent cases in there.
Spent cases?
Yeah.
What size?
Big, bigger than .5.
Called Jackson. Just off to your left, there's all these little huts and things. One looks a bit suspicious, got a little curtain on it, like a lying up position. Can you go and check it out?
Any one of these dwellings could contain Taliban fighters. No chances are taken.
Yeah, roger that, boss.
We're coming down through a town called Caligal, which we know has been used as firing positions, enemy firing positions, with small arms and mortars. You see the mortar arms there, and so we just come to push down and check if we can find these firing positions, and just to dominate the ground, show that we can, you know, come out and sort of walk around freely. Yeah, so we're just checking suspicious places.
Nothing suspicious in there. There's a couple of badminton rackets around the back.
Boss!
One of the patrol notices some disturbed earth and thinks he's discovered an enemy firing point.
Sorry? I mean, this is a suspected firing position of enemy mortars. So.
81mm M. That sounds like a weapon system.
That's definitely a weapon system.
Right. Being dipped from the top of that feature over there. But if you look at the stone wall, the closest to us, directly behind it, there's a small green hill. Top of that, every so often, there's somebody that pokes his head out, quite clearly in black. Essentially, to the left-hand side of the peak of that hill. I'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah, roger.
Yeah, seen. Keep eyes on. Hey?
It's just digging for... We're getting dipped from the north. We're just checking it out over.
Terry John, so desperate to be part of the Royal Marine family, has been told to report to the principal medical officer.
I don't know how good you are at anatomy, but I'm just going to show you something, okay? This is the lower leg. All of the different muscles are encased in a special sheath or bag. Unfortunately, what happens in some people is the muscle swells up and there's nowhere for it to go, and it becomes very tight and very painful, and that's why you're getting pain and numbness in the legs.
I wonder if he's talking about the fascia, because that sounds like compartment syndrome to me.
We call it compartment syndrome. It is possible that, along with some physiotherapy, we can make this better, okay? But it's a pretty tall order, I better tell you that right from the beginning. It's actually a difficult condition to treat. It's not something that you can just say, oh, I'll put a pair of inserts into my feet and magically I'll be better. It takes work. Okay, crack on.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
If you get compartment syndrome, no matter what we do, quite the large majority end up out of training. Unless he's very lucky, it's not good. It's not a good outlook, I'm afraid. It's a shame, but there we go.
I'd love to, you know, go home, get married and all that, knowing that I have the green beret, knowing that, you know, my kids are going to, you know, come get born and find out their dad is like Royal Marine, doing good shit. It's a tough game. Play it to win.
Boss!
Right. It's a ghost town, isn't it?
Suddenly, the Taliban open up with a burst of fire aimed directly at 11 Troop.
So you're all in cover.
Let me move around. Five fire support up the ground.
Can you get up there and see if you get
Take section on me!
Cheeky bastards. Contact. Wait out. Is there any chance we can go back around to the north and just see if we can flush anyone out?
I'll try.
Bertie asked permission from headquarters to launch an attack.
Acknowledge, yeah, just get your ass back.
Choose Alpha, Roger, out. They're being fucking boring, they just want us to head back in there.
Let's go and watch Star Wars.
Let's go and watch Star Wars.
Star Wars on tonight? Well, we can always put no, we watched Star Wars the other week. Oh, we go from Indiana Jones. What about Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Indiana Jones.
Haven't but with Pirates of the Caribbean.
Not watch Pirates 2 again.
No.
Watch my disc to make sure it's
I've got mine as well. Why do we have to watch that? I got mine.
Can we
straight over the saddle, yeah?
This is what it's all about, boss. Star Wars.
Star Wars Indiana
Come on,
Jones.
what are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
We're going to go back and watch Star Wars.
Okay. I want to watch Ghost Point Blank. What did I tell you? Fuck, I never get my own way.
Mission in and all, I think it might kick off.
The patrol heads back, at first across dead ground. That is, ground protected from direct fire by surrounding hills.
Firing right over our head.
Once 11 Troop reach the exposed ground, they have no alternative but to speed march across it. 600 yards under enemy fire.
Close them up quickly, I want them across this open ground quickly over. Rear half, let's go.
Let's take a minute to appreciate the stamina of these guys, because they've been patrolling a few hours probably. They're each carrying a load, a minimum of 55 to 60 pounds. And depending on the weapon system they're carrying, as well as if they are a medic or a comm operator, then go ahead and add at least 20 more pounds to that load. So these guys are tough.
So hang out for the lads at the back.
Still there.
Good bit of fizz, lads. Courtesy of the Taliban. I mean, Rossi, look like you're at the end of a 6 miler. So everyone in, is it?
Yes, sir.
All right, do you want to breathe it?
Let's get the fuck out of here.
All right.
We're not doing anything waiting around. Take section on me!
After a 6-hour patrol, Bertie leads his troop over the bridge to the safety of the Marine base. Mission accomplished, and no casualties.
Having to wear your gear for that long sucks.
It's like an attitude being built up in you of not like giving up or giving in on things easily. Honestly, I see it. While they have their Greenberry, it proves that they have that mentality also to like keep on going. Proves a lot, that Greenberry. It does. Separate you from all other men. Normal, man. This is not normal. Nah. Everything down there. It's a clear, nice day today, isn't it?
And if you look over to the west, you see the smoke. That's the enemy position that's being suppressed at the moment. The fixed enemy on that position, they're going to put an airstrike in. I think 2 500-pound bombs is what I heard. And then hopefully kill them. It's quite fun sort of patrolling around with it going in over your head. The lads laugh at it, but I suppose it's only funny as long as, you know, everyone walks away okay.
Terry never did get his green beret. He was eventually medically discharged and left the Royal Marines.
I wanted to be a Royal Marines Commando. I wanted to be out on the battlefield, you know, experiencing the whole feeling, adrenaline rush, like being out there and, you know, it's your mates that you miss every one of them. That's the hardest part. I love them like brothers, actually. It's like almost a band of brothers type of thing. Back in Derby now, trying to live a normal life, trying to.
But 10 months later, Terry passed out as a sapper with the Royal Engineers.
It was always a relief to take off our 50 pounds of gear after a 12-hour guard shift in Iraq. And even though we did often feel like complaining, we also appreciated the fact that we were not out patrolling like these guys. So respect to them. Once the next episode is filmed, I'll put it right here.